For 4,500 years we were dead sure the pyramids were nothing more than tombs big, quiet, done. We snapped the selfies, mailed the postcards, and called it a day. Then last June a tiny press room in Rome went dead quiet. Italian physicist Crotto Malonga clicked to a single radar slice under Kaffa and boom, there it was, a city-sized maze sprawling. Wider than downtown Cairo, staircases curling like ammonites, shafts dropping to 1,000 feet, corridors running so straight they look laser-ruled. The slide glowed ghost blue on every face in the room. And the story we'd told ourselves cracked right down the middle. Those scans that broke the map, Malanga's crew-blended ground-penetrating radar, satellite infrared, and a fresh AI stitcher that turns raw echoes into 3D cathedrals. The gears off-the-shelf NASA hunts ice on Mars with the same toys, but nobody had ever cranked every dial this hard at Giza. First blip, a 120 meters deep ring echo. They figured noise. Then a triangle slid in beside it. Then another, until the model simply hit a wall too big to process. 10, maybe 12 stacked levels, each the footprint of a megamole. Corridors shoot out like wool spokes, some dead end. Others yawn into voids, so huge the radar reads them as open sky. The team rear in every frequency, threw the data at 3 separate A's, then flew in a second lab to copy the work by hand. Same picture every time, an engineered metropolis in tombs since before writing. What the city actually looks like. Picture ducking under Menkaur's north face. Following a ramp that drops 30 meters, the ceiling suddenly doubles. And the desert heat gives way to a cool that makes your sweat turn cold. Walls switch from rough granite to glossy basalt so black your torch flame looks like it's strapped inside. 40 meters down you hit a fork. Left opens into a circular hole roomy enough for a football-field floor edge with the same star map up on the plateau. Right corkscrew 600 steps down to a chamber empty except for one red granite cube, no glyphs, just perfect edges. Radar says rooms lie past that cube, yet the signals scatter as if the walls drink energy instead of bouncing it. Farther east, a tunnel runs arrow straight for 1.4 kilometers, dives under Kaffa's causeway, and get this hosts a subterranean canal lined with quartz that's still damp to the touch. Whoever built this wasn't just moving rock. They were moving water and air better than most modern cities. The controversy they didn't want. Less than a day after Rome, Egypt's ministry dropped a one-liner. No scientific basis. Dr. Zahi Hawass never one to hide from a camera called it science fiction. Radar veterans chimed in. Limestone cracks, moisture pockets. Yada yada. Fairjeepier is a diva in desert stone. Except Malanga's group dumped every raw file onto an open server. Before the week was out, coders in Sao Paulo, Seoul, and Toronto had reproduced the same shapes. Then a quiet preprint from Tohoku University hit the web. Muon tomography think cosmic ray X-rays showed. Nearly identical voids, totally different physics. Same blueprint. When journalists asked Hawass why no new GPR permits have been issued since 2017, he walked out. Reddit and Twitter lit up overnight. Cover up, caution, or both. Why this changes everything. If the scans hold and every new dataset nods yes, then the pyramids are just rooftop skylights for a buried megalopolis. The textbooks say 2.3 million blocks went up in 20 years, an underground complex this vast. Try centuries, maybe millennia. So who kicked things off? The same folks who watched rain weather the Sphinx 9,000 years ago. A culture erased by dynastic Egypt. The underground holes still lock onto Orion, Sirius, plus a third star whose position slipped 12,000 years ago, if that's not coincidence. We're staring at a stone calendar buried on purpose, energy plant, data vault, doomsday bunker, until we sink a borehole and drop a camera, Everything's on the table, including the possibility that the Egyptians inherited a site they never fully decoded. If your pulse jumped imagining boots on those silent floors, welcome to the club. The next upload rips apart the Japanese moon frames pixel by pixel, and trust me, it gets stranger. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the descent. Connecting the global dots. Giza isn't an only child. Rectangular voids under Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Sun look eerily familiar. Bosnia's pyramid cave throwback right-angle echoes. Turkey's Derinkuyu 18 carved levels predates 1200 BC, same playbook. Big monuments topside. Vast warrens below. The Giza discovery is simply the loudest note in a global chord. Egypt's reluctance to drill is making archaeologists improve. Bosnia and Turkey swap GPR files for the first time, an underground renaissance. Quiet but accelerating. The questions that stay with you. After the question and answer, someone asked Malonga what the city was for. He shrugged. Right now, the data makes better noise than our theories. Refreshing. But it leaves us floating in questions. Why does every major corridor tilt 14.7 south of east, matching the pyramid's southern air shaft? If the rooms are empty now, who cleaned house? And when? And, creepiest of all, if the air down there is still humid and moving, what's been breathing all this time? Until a drill bit breaks that seal. We're left with ghost stories written in hard numbers that raise a line between spreadsheet and myth. That's where the next page of history is being drafted. So here we are with open source maps, more corroborating data every week, and a metropolis older than writing itself. Egypt says further study, but offers no calendar. Meanwhile, the scans sharpen. The moons confirm. And thousands of curious minds, maybe yours, are pulling the files and spotting fresh anomalies. Enough pointed questions, and sooner or later the plateau answers. Until then, the pyramids keep their Mona Lisa smile, and the ground beneath hums with the weight of everything we've yet to learn. Keep digging figuratively for now, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.